Hi guys, Jared Johnson here. Another Sunday night is upon us, so I'm glad to be back at the charts. It's been a long, fun weekend, chartless that is. But there has been so much activity this weekend. Let's have a look at things. A few things are going to change slightly. I'm just going to talk a little bit more about the beginning conditions of the market, and then we're going to leave the rest up to the day-to-day chat, which you guys will be served best by attending the chat and being on there as much as possible. I know that Skype can be a little laggy, but that problem will be fixed very shortly. So I want you guys to get back in the habit of getting on the chat because as the day-to-day trades go by and the day-to-day movement happens, we need to be ready to take advantage of some of that. And I can't cover it all in a single video at the beginning of the week, so just be ready to be jumping on that chat, and we'll get some of this great movement that we're finally seeing start to happen. We have seen some very good movement in this euro, a very strong trend. This thing has been hitting straight up for a couple of weeks now, and it's finally starting to top out just a little bit. This is something that I'm going to be very cautious of. It looks like it's almost beginning to start to form a head and shoulders pattern. So a nice break above that 47 kind of 25 area will at least allow this thing to continue up a little bit more. But we are starting to see a little bit of a head and shoulders pattern. And the reason I say that I'm a little bit curious slash concerned about that is because I wouldn't expect the euro to head straight up while the pound is heading straight down. It's just kind of a rare thing to happen for a long period. We've seen it happening quite a bit for the last couple of weeks, so we've got to be pretty careful. However, if this euro does break above this 47.22, which it's only about 10 pips away from, try to get a couple of pips out of it, but just know that at this point the momentum is definitely slowing on this pair, and we're starting to see some reversal patterns forming in this kind of head and shoulders type manner. So be prepared for that. Bottom of the channel, about 46.15. So euro is definitely not the big focus of right now. We do see that we have seen some major movements on such pairs as the pound. The pound is going nuts. This thing broke out of our Sunday night channel. Remember guys, the Sunday channel is the crucial channel, or excuse me, the Friday channel is crucial, but the Sunday night trade setup is what is really the big deal. So I hope you guys are all well versed on the Sunday night trade, how that is supposed to work and how it goes, and I hope that you're taking advantage of it as much as possible. Remember that when these markets are active, the Sunday night trade, as of the last several months, has been happening later in the evening, and now it's starting to happen much earlier in the evening. So be at your charts and be ready to take advantage of this movement. We saw that the pound started off with a bang and just broke out of that Friday low, which was about 59.18 area, and it's now here at about 58.56. So the advantage or the opportunity that we'll have here is as this pair kind of consolidates and maybe even comes back up a little bit, maybe we can get in on the retracement to take this pair back down. If anyone missed that, this thing broke out basically about the first hour or so of the major open. So so if anyone is not in this pair, hopefully we'll see a little bit of retracement. It can kind of come back up to our red line alligator area and continue on back down. But something that is important about this pound dollar, and there's an article posted on All About Pips, as you can see, about the pound dollar, more bearish to come very likely, and it has finally broken that neckline of this big head and shoulders pattern that we've talked about, and it's heading south. That neckline was pretty nicely at about the 6,000 level, but we wanted to make sure that there was ample confirmation that it was going to get out of that, and it has. So this pair is basically out of our summer channel now for the first time in 1, 2, 3, just about 4 full months. So that is very positive. This pair is looking at heading down nicely. So I'm very bearish on this pound dollar. Not so bearish on the euro dollar yet. I'm still bullish on the euro dollar, but I do think it is kind of running out of steam. So keep an eye on that. We've seen lots of other movements happen. The Aussie's kind of slowing down, but the big focuses right now, huge focuses, are yen pairs. Look at these yen pairs. All these yen pairs have gone absolutely bonkers the last couple of hours of the market. And actually, I have the wrong level marked here. It was more, the breakout happened more up at this 131.58 area. And now here it is all the way 100 plus pips below, and it's actually been quite a bit more. So this one, these yen pairs are showing us lots of activity. With the euro yen heading down so sharply and the dollar yen just holding level, that is definitely another reason to be a little bit cautious of trading that euro dollar up so much right now. But I will repeat, like I've repeated many times, if the euro's holding or even going up while the pound is going the other direction, we see major movements on the euro pound, which this pair I've been bullish on for a good little while, although I was starting to get a little bit cautious about how far this thing has run. But it keeps on running, so as long as it keeps on running, we'll keep on trading it, but with very, very tight caution, because this pair is going strong. So look for this thing to pull back a little bit before any possible entries there. But really, like I was saying, the focus right now is these yen pairs. These yen pairs are finally starting to give us some movement. We see that the that what happened on these day charts here is it's starting to kind of break first level of movement. So here's our first channel, about the 13100, which has been, you know, strong for about 2.5 months, and now the yen's headed down to about 126.95-ish. So watch for that. So we've still got about 400 pips of potential movement for this thing to continue heading down, but I think the momentum now on these yen pairs is south. Look at the article on All About Pips for what is expected on these yens. They are holding very strong, and they're getting more and more appealing as the days go by. Now, we see that we have a very good opportunity with this Aussie yen, although we have the same kind of dichotomy here, where the Aussie dollar is not necessarily going up, while the Aussie yen is going down, and the euro dollar not really going up, but the euro yen going down. So just be a little bit cautious, but know that we have a very good level, a break of 76.35. Mark that on your charts, on your calendars, on everything. 76.35. A break out of this channel will give us a nice 2-month low to work with, and hopefully much more downside to come. Pound dollar, very same thing. Pound dollar has just majorly pound yen has majorly broken out of you know, a 3-month low and then even a 4-month low, and it is just on its way. So you guys will remember that the pound yen is the monster mover. So keep an eye on that pound yen for some pretty extreme movements. We don't have, you know, it's approaching lows as it continues here, but the next major low is back here at about 117, 1800. So really, this thing gave us a very nice double top, and has broken the neckline very well of this whole run here, and is heading down very nicely. So just be ready to take this pound yen onward. So know that it's time to start selling the heck out of these yens. Dollar yen, same thing, gave us a very nice breakout. It's already given us a ridiculous run. One thing to remember, though, is that it is definitely approaching some very major low levels back here in about the 8,700 area. It's about 8,870, so about 200 change pips to go, but very likely to meet that. But it will continue on nicely, but probably reach a lot of support once it gets to that area. So yen pairs, time to sell the heck out of those. Time to start keeping long in the euro pound. And watch, basically my advice on the euro dollar and the Aussie dollar is to watch and wait and see. I think these pairs might start getting really choppy. Euro dollar and Aussie dollar will probably start getting very choppy as they begin to consolidate and deal with all the opposite movement happening on the other similar pairs. Aussie yen, euro yen heading down nicely, euro dollar, Aussie dollar just kind of consolidating, and the US dollar I think is going to start giving us a little bit of action. We have a very, very busy economic calendar this week, all kinds of things happening, so be ready for this one. But kind of the big things we have happening are Trichet will be speaking later on today, so that'll be definitely something to look at. We have the non-farm payroll predictor on Wednesday, and then we have official non-farm payroll on Friday, which is going to be a big tell-all. If numbers come out slightly better than expected, be ready to go long on the dollar. That means sell the euro dollar, sell the pound dollar. If numbers come out positive, that'll be something yet to be seen. So good luck, folks. Trade the heck out of everything, and we will see you on the chat. That'll be very crucial. And the webinars are now recordable, so those will be posted as well. So we'll see you guys. Thanks for being on, and very best of luck trading tonight and into the first part of this week.